How you guys doing today? This is Jorge with Greystone Investment Group and homesforincome.com, where you invest, we do the rest. That is homes, the number 4, income.com. And today I was inspired because somebody challenged me over the weekend, an investor. I was talking to an investor and I was explaining how to do the BRRR, which is pretty much you buy, repair, rent, and refinance. And he was asking me, is it a good idea to cash out on my equity? Is it a good idea to have a mortgage so high? What if there's a recession? What if things go down? What's gonna happen, Jorge? I don't wanna lose all of my rental properties. And I said to him 2 words: responsible lending. So there's a big difference between what a lot of people did back in 2006, 7, and 8 to some of the stuff that are happening now. For instance, there's no bad debt as long as you know how to manage it correctly. So here are some of my tips of how you want to refinance and cash out your asset. First of all, you want to make sure your asset is in good shape. So if it's a rental, you don't have a ton of repairs coming up. So cover your bases. Make sure your asset has a good roof, a good AC, before you do any type of cash out. So once again, make sure that your asset is maintenance free for the most part before you do the cash out. So that's one of the things that people got in trouble back in the days, because they were fixing their properties with the minimum possible and then cashing out on those properties 100%. So make sure your property is in good shape before you cash out. Number 2, make sure you don't completely take all of your equity out. My advice is not to do more than 80% of the value. That way you have a little bit of a cushion just in case. So never do 100% financing. The most you want to do is 80%. That way if there's a shift in the market, you have a 20% spread. Number 3, make sure that when I say responsible lending, make sure that you have a note that pays principal as well and is fixed to a minimum of 10 years. Because guys, it's not about the debt, it's about how you manage the debt. So don't be afraid of the next bubble, whatever the case might be, as long as you're doing things the right way. So make sure your property is in good shape. And by the way, this is whether it's your primary home or your investment home. So that way there's no surprises. Cash out, but do not do it more than 80%. You want to leave a spread just in case emergency. You gotta get rid of the asset, your property, whatever the case might be. You have a little bit of room to negotiate. You want to make sure you have the right type of note, a mortgage. That means not a balloon mortgage that is due in 3 years. Those are really, really bad. Because 3 years doesn't give you enough time. Something happens. All of a sudden the market changes. Your property value goes down. And now you're stuck with trying to refinance a property that nobody will refinance for you. So make sure you do a 10, 15-year note. So that way you don't have to worry about, if the market goes down, you don't have to worry about having to refinance. Your property's rented, it's cash flowing, so it's not going to affect you. And more importantly, make sure it's a note that pays principal. Because let's say even if the property, let's say the worst case scenario happened, market goes down 30%, you lose a ton of equity. As long as you don't have too many repairs coming through, you don't have to worry about a balloon payment. You have 10, 15 years. And as long as you pay in principal, you're going to eventually catch up. So let's say if it happened today and you lose 20% of your equity, and it takes 3 or 4 years to recuperate, you're at least gonna have 3 years of paying down principal. You're gonna have 3 years where you don't have to worry about refinance, and you're gonna have a good tenant because you repair your property ahead of time. So as long as you do that, you'll be fine to cash out on your property. The problem that was happening in 2006 is that you have people buying negative mortgages, meaning more was going towards the balance of the mortgage. So you were actually increasing the mortgage. Number two, you have balloons that were doing a year, 3 years, short term. Of course, something happens, you need to refinance. You're not able to because the value is not there. You lose the property. The bank takes it over. And number three, people were overdoing it, doing 100% financing, 105% financing, 110% financing, and not even able to show even income. They didn't even have income verification. So once again, as long as you take care of these things, you'll be fine. I've seen investors, and I'm not just pulling this out of my butt. I've seen investors that have bought 15 homes right before the crash. The property lost, all of the property lost 50% of their value. And I could tell you today they're doing very well because they had the right type of loan. So as long as you have the right type of loan, utilize that equity. If you have $200,000-$300,000 in equity, it's debt money. It's not doing nothing for you. Put it to work. But as long as you do it with a really good, responsible type of lending. I hope this makes sense. For more tips, more information, don't forget to visit us at homes4income.com. This is Jorge at Greystone Investment Group, where you invest, we do the rest. Thank you.